Hi guys, welcome to the kitchen, you guys. I'm happy you're here, happy I'm here. Okay, so tonight, for this video anyway, I'm going to try to be informative and helpful and answer a few questions that get asked quite frequently. And so the number one question that everybody asks is, how do I finish and display my tiles? And I have done a video in the past, but I realize it gets kind of pushed down the line and it becomes difficult to find. So we're going to do just one. So you guys remember this tile? This was my transfer swipe in beautiful earthy colors. It's all resined now. Crystal clear finish. I am super uber picky about resin, you guys. I don't like dust, hair, lint, irregularities. So resining for me becomes a really big chore, and often pieces get resined several times. I don't like derpy resin on the edges, and I don't like splotches of paint. So for my edges, I tape them all off before I resin them. I sand them all down, scrape all the paint off once the resin is cured. I sand them all down, and then most of them I paint out in white. So this is just a Sharpie. It's an enamel Sharpie though. It has a nice fat line. This one's almost empty. And I've already done this tile, but just for the sake of the video, we will just do some touch-ups. So you know what? It's really simple. I just go right down my tile like that, and it makes a nice, crisp, clean white edge. Don't worry about kind of overdoing it where you get a little bit on the tile, because any mineral spirits or anything will take it right off. So that's it. That's basically how I would finish my edges. I have already done them. And then we flip it over. So again, because I'm picky and I'm covering my tiles now with felt. I kind of flop between felt and cabinet, like the cabinet stuff that you, not cabinet, well, cabinets that you put inside your cabinet liner, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Again, this is just a black paint pen. So because we're going to finish this in black, and I am a complete disaster when it comes to cutting, so I'm just going to go around the edges with a black paint pen. Just nothing fancy. We're just going to go with the edges. Sometimes I have to go back and touch up because tiles aren't necessarily completely even. They have little chips and bonks. So sometimes you have to flip it back over and touch up the white. But basically, we're just going to go around the tile like that because, like I said, I can't cut a straight line even if I mark a straight line. And I don't like my felt sitting on my tile and then you can see the little white edges. It bothers me. Yeah, that's just me. I am a bit of a fuss budget. I am a stickler for details. I like everything to be really crisp and really clean. See, I just went over that in black, so we'll have to touch it up in white. Everything has to be tidy and organized to make my head happy. Okay, so we're just going to go over this. This stuff dries really fast. It is just nothing more than acrylic paint pen. Posca pens, the same stuff. These ones are from it's kind of like a Japanese dollar store. It's called Miniso. And I picked up a whole bunch at one time. They were super cheap, and I wish I had bought more because, of course, now I can't find them. I'm sure if I talk to the man that owns the store, he could probably order them in. But Posca pens work fine. They're just more expensive. All right. So like I said, we may have to go back and just do a little bit of touch-ups. But that's easy enough to do. Now a smart guy would turn their spinner, but I have stuff sitting on it, so I'm not going to. I'm going to turn the tile. So I've been selling my tiles now for a couple of years, and they sell really quite well. I'm not going to get rich. I'm not going to retire, but I'm not going to have to sell my firstborn to continue painting, and that's a good thing because I like her. Okay, that's that. That's how we finish the back of that. And then I adhere a D-ring type closure. I don't have any D-rings. These ones came at Home Hardware. So these are called triangular clips. Amazon has a huge selection of D-rings. You just have to be careful when you're ordering sizes. I prefer them a little bit bigger. And these ones are a little bit small for this size of the tile. Not that they won't stick, but I just like them. I like them stronger. So I'm gonna just put you guys on hold for a second because I realize that this needs to set. So normally I use any quick set epoxy. This is just a 2-part epoxy. Squeeze it onto a card or whatever you're gonna squeeze it on. Stir it up. I pop it on the tile and then I just let it set. It says 5 minutes, but I generally put something heavy on it and weight it down for a period of time. But because I want this to set instantly tonight for the purpose of this video, I'm going to switch glues. So I'm going to put you guys on hold for just a second. Okay guys, I'm back. So we're going to use P210 tonight, which this is complete overkill, you guys. You do not need to go and buy P210. It's really expensive. It's like the super glue of super glue. So it's a 2-part system and it's really stinky. But I've marked out my tile where my center of my tile is. So even though these say they're 4 inches, they're actually not. I put a nice size bead on, and this glue comes with an activator which will set this glue immediately. So I'm just going to spray my activator onto my clip. This glue sticks to everything, and it sticks quickly, and it sticks forever. It's made for wood, not made for tiles. So you should really be wearing gloves. That would be one of my big suggestions. But I'm going to put that there. I'm just going to press it into place. I'm going to set it, and that will be it. That is there to stay, and that's it. That's my D-ring hanger or triangular hanger. It's a really simple way to finish the backs of your tiles. I haven't had anybody complain because there's a fixture hanging above it. I have lots of them on my wall. I have never yet had one fall off and kill the cat or anything like that, so it's all good. And then we are going to cover it with felt, which I have also pre-cut. I can't cut straight, you guys, which is why I finished the backs with the little black edge. So that felt is from the dollar store. It just comes in a small roll. Again, it doesn't have to be like, you know, anything other than felt. It's just there for the sake of this to do our tile. It's not, just gives it a finishing touch. I'm using Carpenter's glue. For no other reason than that's what I grabbed. You can use school glue, you can use whatever. A little bit of that on there. Now a smart guy would have had a cloth or something to wipe it around. I don't, because I forgot. So we're just going to smoosh it with a popsicle stick. This is like so easy, guys. My biggest challenge, like I said, is cutting straight. We're going to make sure that we get all of our edges, because if any place it's going to lift, it's going to lift on your edges. So just go around them. I'm doing this quickly because I can't imagine it's very interesting watching me stick felt on a tile. But it is a question that I get asked really often. Okay, pre-cut piece. One side had a few white lines. And that goes like that. Press it into place. The Carpenter's glue doesn't allow for a lot of wiggle room. Oh, sorry guys, I just whacked my head in. And that's it. So, and then I would just lay this to flat and let it dry. And that's it. That's how I finish my tiles. It's easy, it's nice. I use automotive wax before I sell them. I give them all a coat of automotive wax just to bring up that shine. So this size tile, the 4x16s, I generally sell for $35 to $40. It depends. Not that people should pay for my mistakes in getting hair or lint in my resin, but you have to cover the cost of your product. So $35, they sell really, really well at this price point, which is a pretty good return on your money. I paid, well, if I schmooze the guy in Home Hardware, Home Depot, I can often get these for like 99 cents. And they take 2 ounces of resin to cover them. So you know what? Do the math, guys. Do the math. The small tiles, I do exactly the same way. My small 4x4s, you guys will probably remember this is supposed to be this set, but they were not quite right. I don't have felt on this, but I have the D-ring. These little guys, I sell for $10 a piece, as single mini masterpieces, and I put them down 5 for $40 or $10 a piece. They sell like hotcakes. Christmas markets, summer bazaars, outdoor markets, all those things. You know what? Who doesn't have $10 in their back pocket to get like an original little mini piece of art? It's perfect. Perfect. So that's it, you guys. That is how I finish my tiles. And like I said, they hang nicely on the wall. They sell extremely, extremely well. That's that. Pouring medium. Let's talk about pouring medium for a minute. We're gonna move this somewhere safe. I use the same pouring medium. Not that I'm a pro at many different types of pours, because I'm like a Dutch pour virgin. I've never done any of them. But for flip cups and ring pours and jiggle pours, I use exactly the same pouring medium as I do for my blooms. I just thin it accordingly. And my recipe's super simple, and it's a ratio of basically 3:1. And that's it. Nothing fancy. So my first product of the 3s, can you guys see this? I think so. It's Velspar. It's Season Plus. It's semi-gloss. This one is actually an exterior fade resistant paint and primer. This one is exterior. It's the same one I always use. It's an ultra deep base. So we're gonna do 3 of those. This is my cup. This is what it looks like. It sits on my counter for quite some time sometimes. And I don't weigh things. I don't get all crazy and measure things all perfect. I just kind of drop and plop. I can't get my can open. I'm using my fancy swizzle stick, which is not a smart idea. Oh my goodness, it's like glue. All right, there you go. That's what it looks like. It's quite white. I'm not a fan of the Behr 8300. I've used it because everybody uses it. I don't like it. It's as simple as that. It works amazing for piggies. This one does too, but this has more white. It dries clear. So when I mix it with my piggies, they never have that beautiful shimmery iridescent look until they dry. So there's my cup. All right, watch this, how precise I am. So this is just a little 1 ounce shot glass that I probably got from work one. After a while, you will make pouring medium so much that you just don't even have to really measure. You can just tell. All right, 3. Number 2 is Minwax polyacrylic. You all know what that looks like. Just the plain blue can clear gloss. I was using triple thick for a while. It's double the price. I don't find it makes any difference whatsoever. So I am kind of thrifty, So I'll always go for what's cheaper. 1, 2. A lot of people stop there. That's their pouring medium. I prefer glue in mine, so I use Elmer's Glue All, not the school glue, Glue All. I order it from Amazon. It's super cheap. I get it in a big tub like this, and 1. That's it. And then we give that a really good stir. And when you think you've stirred enough, stir it some more. So it will be really, really thick. And I don't add water to it until it's mixed with my individual colors, because all paint has a different density and all paint will require a little bit extra medium or no, just medium, no water. Some will require more water. It depends. You know what? If you use a fluid acrylic, this consistency right out of the thing, just like that, is basically all I use. If it's a thicker, heavy body paint, then you have to add water, which I mix about 50-50 with polyacrylic and water. All right, let's get a cup. Let's follow this whole thing right through. Okay, cheapy paint, you guys. Dollar store acrylics. This is espresso, $1.50. I use it quite frequently. This is quite thin because it's quite cheap. As you can see, it's really thin. So for this dollar store paint, I just add the medium. I don't add any water, and it's good to go. Mix, 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 mix. And that's it. Super, super simple, guys. Okay, what else was I going to talk about? Tools. Don't get all wrapped up in the have-to-haves. Having palette knives and all that are really nice. You don't need them. You can swipe with paper. You can move your paint with popsicle sticks. There's a million different tools that you can use. Dollar store putty knife for scooping up. Super simple. Playing cards. These ones are from the secondhand store. They're like 89 cents for a box. I know it's wasteful to throw them out, but sometimes using something as simple as a piece of paper is a gentler touch for swiping. It works much better. So experiment. Think outside the box. Try damp paper towel. I started with cards. I couldn't swipe to save my life with a palette knife. I started with cards. And then I kind of moved on. These cards smell amazing because they were in my drawer in my buffet, and I spilled, I think it was like some essential oils and patchouli, and so they smell really nice. Almost don't want to use them. Playing cards. Toothpicks from the dollar store work well for modifying. Basic. You know what? Basic toothpicks. 500 toothpicks for $1.50. These little cocktail skewers, these are also from the dollar store. Amazon has an amazing selection, and they dump them right off at your door. This little thing. This is a wonderful thing. I got this from my friend Elise, who kind of chuckled at me because originally I had found plastic kebab sticks, and then they didn't have them, and they had the rounded end, and they ran out and they never got them back. And so I was gluing a bead onto a toothpick or onto a kebab stick and using a bead. So Elise sent me these stainless steel. These are cocktail sticks, again from Amazon. Huge selection. This one has the rounded flat snubby nose end, and originally I wasn't really sure what, if anything, I could use with that snubby end. But you guys have all seen, you have to ignore the mess here. You guys have all seen these little curly cues. So this was my latest piece that I just posted. So all of these beautiful little curly cues are done with that rounded end. And all of these kind of bead sections, they're all done with the flat end. So, you know what? They're a really good thing to pick up. They weren't really expensive. And they serve sort of They serve a lot of different purposes, and you can wash them. I don't think I have anything else to share. I'm going to paint, but I'm going to stop this video because I know if I totally mess up my painting, then everything I've just shown you will be completely useless. So I'm going to love you and leave you. I'm going to thank you all so much for joining me in the kitchen tonight. This is an oddity for me to actually be talking about paint and paint products. But every once in a while, it has to be done. It has to be done. That's it, guys. I really don't have anything else to say. You know what? I get it. Paint pouring can be extremely expensive, extremely frustrating. Think outside the box. You know, tiles are cheap. You can often pick them up on Marketplace, use Victoria, use Toronto, wherever you are, for cheap. The dollar store, it's like a playground for fluid artists. All of these things are just super, super cheap. My spinner, that was another thing. I just mentioned this, but I'm going to mention it again because I get asked quite a bit about that too. My spinner also came from Amazon, from Elise. She's kind of like my angel on my shoulder. Underneath this is nothing more than a regular spinner, an Amazon spinner. This is a, I don't know if it's 12 by 24. That's got to be, or 14 by something. It's a tile, ceramic tile, and it just gives me a much wider space to work on. Usually I have a color covered in this plastic protector stuff, so it scrapes right off, and I don't like the noise on the ceramic tile. That's one reason why I cover it. Again, super easy to clean. It's nicely weighted. I did tell you guys in a video 2 or 3 back that I adhere this with putty, also from the dollar store. I'm like your dollar store diva, you guys. And that's it. Bigger surface. You want a smaller surface? Work directly on your spinner or pop a 12 by 12 ceramic tile. Nice weight. It spins really nicely. Super happy with all of it. All right, my friends, enough chitter chatter. I'm not gonna send anything. I'm gonna sign off again. I've already done that, and then I got busy gabbing. I'm gonna thank you once more for joining me. You guys, your questions are awesome. I do try to answer them as I go, but I know sometimes I get chitter chattering about just useless nonsense. So don't hesitate to just holler out at me and say, hey, what the hell was that thing you used? Or yeah, feel free to ask, you guys. I'm an open book. All right, my friends, I'm leaving for real. I'm going to strip down and then we're going to paint. All right, guys, bye for now.